Well, happy Friday, everybody. You should have your homework out. Let's think about this. Today is the 16th. Thank you. Uh, Looks like Wednesday we'll have a quiz. The inequality stuff. To make sure I'm teaching you appropriately. I'm a pretty fast grader.
You are pretty fast.
Yeah, right? Like I got it the same day we took the test.
You got it like after the first test period. We had a test period. That was walking the lunch.
We are 5.
Oh wow.
Once we start next week, there's 5 weeks total before we get to fall break. That's pretty huge. That's pretty huge. Yes, there's a teacher in service on Friday next week, so you guys are sleeping. Don't worry, I'll call you guys right when I get here to make sure you're awake.
Friday next week?
That's what we said.
Wait, we don't have school Friday?
This coming Friday, a week from Friday.
That's the best.
Friday next week, we will not have class.
Gosh, I love.
Anybody on the delayed reaction still? Wait, what do you say? Who?
Wait, we're gonna have a quiz? No. 10 minutes later. Wait, we're gonna have a quiz next week?
All right. Hey, what page did we work on last time? 47. All right, if you would,
Did you?
please get out your homework, which was on page 47, 48, right? Get that out. I'll come by and mark it off for you. 47, 48. As you get it out, I will come by. We good? Let's go through these, and we're writing them in interval notation. So I want to kind of run through quite a few of them, make sure we're good with these problems. Just quickly, I'm not going to write the problem number. So we have this, and I know that's this. And a lot of people want to just stop there saying, I'm done. The problem is I want values that are larger than 9 that go to infinity. So that's the interval notation. Why are they both parentheses? Well, one, you can never get to infinity, so that always has to be a parenthesis. And being that this is this sign, that warrants that sign. All right, problem number 2 is this. And honestly, how I'd go through these problems, if this was presented to me, I would say take the whole problem and flip it over like that. Now, you're not multiplying or dividing, you're just flipping the whole problem over. And then you get to this point, and then this is going to be a square bracket going to infinity. Does everyone feel comfortable with those? Okay, can I move off this screen?
Is it alright if we don't flip it and send the same answer?
If you get, so this is mainly what I'll be looking for, so you're totally fine if you don't flip it. I just like to flip it because when the letter's here, this tells you the direction you're going. But you might see it different, which is awesome. Okay. Okay, so this first problem, I'm going to add 2. So I'm going to negative infinity. I'm going to I'm starting with there. So please do not flip that over. Don't go say I'm going from 0 to negative infinity. No, you're coming from negative infinity. You're coming from the left, going to the right as far as the number line goes. This problem, make sure you distribute the negative 3 to both. Have you multiplied or divide both sides by a negative at this point? Have you multiplied or divided each side by a negative at this point? No, so the sign doesn't flip over. Yes, I distributed a negative over the parentheses, but I did not, to get the variable alone, have to multiply or divide. So then this is negative 16x plus 6 less than or equal to negative 64. Negative 16x is less than, I'm going to subtract that, so that's negative 70, I believe. Is the sign going to flip over?
Yes.
Why? I'm dividing by each side by a negative 16 in this case. It just happened to be they both were negative, so this is now going to flip over. I need to make sure I reduce that fraction. So I know 2 goes into here, so that's, let's see, it's going to be positive, right? So I have 35 over 8, and I think that's as far as we can go. So I want values from 35 over 8 to go to infinity, okay? Yes, you can make it a mixed number if you'd like. I prefer it as an improper fraction.
I made it 4.37.
Is that how many times 8 goes into 35? I like it.
I divided 70 by negative 70 by negative 16.
Oh, okay, and that's what it came out to? I'll take that. I like it. All right, moving on. All right, that should be a 5 right there. Sorry. All right, on this particular one, I'm going to divide each side by 12. So I get this. Okay, yes, you can flip the whole thing over. I'm not flipping it over. I guess I could have flipped this over here to get that originally and then divide. So it depends how you want to see this problem. So this goes from 5 to infinity. It's a rounded bracket.
Yeah.
This one I might flip over just so I have this like that. And then multiply each side by 8 so I get to here. So I'm going from 40 to infinity. Hey! How are you? What, Mom? All right, perfect. Andrew, where are you at? All right. Let's see. Number 7. Negative 9 is greater. 9x, is greater than or equal to 36. And this one. All right. So this first problem, I need to divide each side by a negative. What happens now? What happens?
Switch the
The sign flips over. So this is going which way? So that goes, it's coming from negative infinity. It's going to negative 4. Do not flip it over. Okay? Again, you're reading this from left to right. I'm coming from negative infinity going up to negative 4. I include negative 4. That's why I have a square bracket. Yeah. Distribute here. Add 1. Does the sign flip?
No.
No. Even though that's negative right here, the sign doesn't flip. Why doesn't it flip? Because I'm not dividing by a negative. The number I am dividing happens to be negative, so I'm going to get this as an answer. So this is going to go from negative infinity to negative 1. Close parentheses. Yeah.
Okay, so I added 4 and 3. I got 4x minus 7.
Drew, the answer is the same as mine.
No, I got 1.
Which one?
On number 8, the second.
What?
I added 4 and 3 and I got negative
Ooh.
4x minus 7.
See, this has to be distributed over. There's no other math operation that's going to take place on
Oh
that.
no, I distributed and then on the second step I added 4 and 3 and then subtracted 4x minus 7.
It's
Instead of
negative
4x.
4.
Yeah, but this had to be a negative right here.
Oh.
That's where you might have made the error. You might have made that positive accidentally. Okay. Number 9. Number 10. That's all I can. Maybe I can squeeze number 11 there. All right. So this one I'm going to add 12. So negative infinity to 7. Rounded bracket because no equals. Multiply each side times 5. Divide each side by 2. So I'm going from 25 to infinity. Rounded bracket. On this one, I could multiply everything by 3 first if I wanted to clear the denominator. So that's negative 2a plus 33 is less than 9. Subtract 33. That way, if you do it this way, you don't have to deal with any fractions at all. That's going to be negative 24. Is that right? What happens here?
You flip the sign.
The sign flips because that's 12. So I'm going from 12 to infinity. All right? Now number 12, I have x over 4 plus x over 12 is less than x over 6 minus 1. Okay? What am I going to multiply all four terms by?
12 on
12 over 1, which is the same thing as 12. Okay, so that goes in there 3 times, so that's 3x. That goes in there once, so that's 1x. It's less than. That goes into there twice, so that's 2x. And that's minus 12. Subtract 2x. So x plus 1 is less than negative 12. Oops. Subtract 1. X is less than negative 13.
Wait, it's 1x.
Yeah, it's 1x. Yeah, I was about to say
It's 1x.
Ooh, dude, so I made a mistake. All right, here we go. Sorry about that. Let me erase this. So let's see. So that's 4x is less than 2x minus 12. Am I right now?
Yep.
Thank you. I'm sorry about that. 2x is less than negative 12, so x is less than negative 6. Why did the sign not flip?
If you divide it by positive.
Yeah, even though that's a negative right there, this being divided was positive. So I'm going to go from negative infinity to negative 6, parentheses, not square brackets. Cool? All right. So the next ones are just kind of word problems. For pipes to stay safe, a house should stay at 50 degrees or above. So can it include 50?
Yes.
Okay. So at 50 to an infinite temperature, could you? What's that?
Is that really healthy for a pipe though? Going up that high in heat?
Infinite amount. So yeah. So suppose we're not going to get to an infinite temperature, but that's the direction we're going. But could we have the house at 50.1 or 50.2 or 50.3? Yeah, so is it continuous or is it discrete? Does it have to be at 50 or at 51 or at 52? So this would be continuous. Is that what we're writing? Continuous. Because all the decimals and fractions from 50 to infinity are going to work. The optimum temperature of a room is between 65 degrees and 75 degrees. It's both square brackets. It can be at 65. It can be at 75. It can be at any temperature in between, including decimals or fractions, yes? So this is also continuous. A middle school student. A middle school student should have no more than 4 hours of homework. Gosh, I hope that's a week. 4 hours of homework a night? That's ridiculous. College?
I did 3 hours of homework last night.
Yeah, it's just. You did not.
I did 10 hours of sleep.
10 hours of sleep, not homework.
I had homework from every single assignment, so that's
Well, I gave you time to try and get it done. You should have got this close to done yesterday, didn't you?
yeah.
All right, no more. So we can go up to 4 hours. But what am I going down to? Am I going to negative infinity?
No, 0.
I'm going to 0. Why am I not going to negative infinity?
You can have negative infinity.
Yeah, you're not going to get negative infinity as far as that. So I'd say that all the decimals work here, so that would be continuous. The temperature of an oven needs to stay above 350 degrees. So 350 to hotter than the sun.
Okay, I'm still confused on like the whole bracket and everything.
Temperature of an oven needs to stay above.
So like the
Oh, it has to stay above. So this has to be this.
Oh, I
Square
didn't.
bracket means equal to or greater.
You include that as the end point. If it doesn't, you go up to it, but you're still a little bit above it or below it. The weight of a person on a diet started at 160 pounds, then increased each week. Okay, so it started at 160 but decreased each week. So the person probably went from 0 to 160. They started at 160. Okay, is the person ever going to weigh 0 pounds? No. That's why I put a rounded bracket, because you could be like 0.0000001 pounds. You're really light. Got to run around the shower to get wet. We're so skinny. Okay, the number of students in a classroom cannot exceed 31. So I will go from 0 students in a classroom all the way to 31 students in a classroom. This is a square bracket. I would say that because it's got to be discrete, because you can't have 1.7 kids. Yeah.
Couldn't you have like, okay, so you could have like, what's the point of teaching if you 0 students? So wouldn't it be 1?
Yeah. But when we say that this is discrete, you know that you'd be starting at 1 then. I mean, could you have written it this? I think this is an acceptable answer as well in a discrete situation. I like both. It's your choice. Which one's right? Both. Good call. Fewer than 170 days of school left this year. Woo! I don't know. It sounded good. Fewer than 170 days.
That's not true.
You don't think there's fewer than 170 days left for school?
No.
Guys, we've gotten through 42 days of school now.
Is this what we're at?
Wow.
Yeah, because this is the end of the 6th week.
Sounds good.
The end of the.
How are we going to do this? There are fewer than 170 days of school. So, I guess it could be a square bracket. 0 to 170 square bracket. Alright, this would be a rounded bracket because there's fewer. So square bracket there, rounded bracket there. Cool. Hand that in.
Wait, how many school weeks do we have in a year?
There's 4 9-week periods, so 36 roughly.
I
didn't mark you.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Do what?
Wait, number 2 is the bracket on the left.
Yeah, or the starting end point, and we'll see a little bit more of that. All right. Thank you. All right, guys and girls, it is Friday. There is a goal that I have in mind for you all for today. You want to know what that goal is? That you would have page 49 and 50 done by the end of the period.
Is that homework if not, or does it just happen?
I bet you get done.
Alright, cool.
Let's just make this, make a disclaimer. It's due it by the end of the period.
Okay.